club like what up, I gotta be. I was pumped, I bought some from the first check. Ice in the fringe is so damn frosty, the people like, hold up, over there, hella deep, headed to the mezzanine, dressed in all pink, set my gator shoes, Dozer wearing drinks that I let her make. Girl standing next to me, I should've washed this, smells like my cold sheets. It was 99 cents, dropping it, washing it, about to go and get some confidence, passing up on those moccasins, someone else has been walking on by me and grudging, damn it, I am still taking process and saving my money, and I'm hella happy that's a money. I'ma take it, grab a stop, I'ma take it, grab a stop, no for real, I should grab it, can I have this hand me now? Give you a jumpsuit and some house slippers, Ricky Brown in the jacket that I found, dig it, had a broken keyboard, I bought a broken keyboard, I bought a screen jacket, then I bought a new board, hello, my niece, man, my lady, Germany, I got nothing on my French game, held up, I can take some pro weeks, make them cool as sell those, think I had to be like, we got the Velcro.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event of the evening. It is the special dog collar match for the RWA Triple Crown Championship. Here are the rules. In just a few moments, our RWA officials will chain the challenger and champion by the neck with the dog collar and 11-foot-long, 18-pound steel chain. Once the dog collar is secured, neither the challenger or champion may remove the collar. If they do, they will be removed from this contest and it will be declared a no contest. This match has no disqualifications. It has no countouts. The only way to win is by pinfall, submission, or technical knockout. The official in charge by the RWA Board of Governors, RWA Senior Official, Steve Mosher. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we have all been waiting for. Live from the Chop Shop in Providence, Rhode Island, it's showtime! Introducing first, the challenger, wrestling out of the corner to my right. He hails from Chicago, Illinois, accompanied by his advocate, Jonathan James Beer. Weighing in tonight at 245 pounds, he is a former RWA television champion, the unbalanced Messiah, Christopher Dozer! His opponent, wrestling on the corner to my left, hailing from the Secret City. He stands in at 5'7" tall and weighs in this evening at 175 pounds. He is a former RWA High Champion and the current reigning, defending RWA Triple Crown Champion. The Heat, Kris Pyro!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We are at the main event. I can barely contain myself. I wanted to see this match for such a long time. I wanted to see the story build and the action and the violence that is going to pertain to these gentlemen. I cannot wait.
Have you seen the look in the eyes of Christopher Dozer? He was screaming at Kris Pyro, there is nowhere to run. And Pyro comes out with a chair. They're being secured by the dog collars. Once on, they cannot remove them. That steel chain is 18 pounds. It is 11 feet long. We have Chet in the ring securing Kris Pyro. We have Manny Souza securing Christopher Dozer, our referee in charge. is Steve Mosher. Mosher checking the chain. We did not have access to this chain all night. Handsome Jim.
Well, and it's probably a best idea because the RWA officials really had this thing locked up tight. They didn't want anyone tampering with it. They didn't want anything happening to the chain.
Mosher is checking Kris Pyro. He is checking the dog collar. Once it is secured, which it is, Mosher is double checking the chain. Manny Souza is okaying it. Chet is okaying it. Steve Mosher is okaying it. This match is underway once Steve Mosher calls for the bell. And here we go, the dog collar match for the RWA Triple Crown Championship. This is going to be bowling shoe ugly, ladies and gentlemen, as the challenger and champion. A test of strength, a tug of war on this chain. You've been in these matches, Jimmy. What do you do? What is the strategy?
Well, the only thing that you can do is try to minimize the violence.
Oh my God, a clothesline, using the chain as leverage. Oh, a forearm right to Kris Pyro, good God. Dozer has been asking for this match. We saw the interview earlier today. He said that Pyro is his target and all questions will be answered tonight. How does Pyro walk out? I do not know how Pyro walks out.
I honestly don't know. I'm a little bit concerned for both men's well-being because this is going to be more than bowling shoe ugly. This is literally going to end up, I have a feeling, with somebody having to be carted out of here.
Pyro blocked that forearm with a shot to the midsection. This is not going to be a technically sound match, even though both of these guys are very technically sound. Forearms back and forth, challenger and champion, center of the ring. Pyro gives almost 90 pounds to Chris Dozer. They are roughly the same size. Dozer is 5'11", Pyro is 5'7". Up and over goes Kris Pyro. Do you forget when you're in this match that you are bound by the neck by this chain when you're thinking offense?
Well, I mean, you can't really forget because, I mean, you're carrying the weight of that chain. I mean, it only, 18 pounds doesn't seem like a lot, but let me tell you, it's a lot.
Up and over goes Kris Dozer, hung up and dropped right here in front of us. Jonathan James Fear on the outside. He is definitely...
Oh, boy.
Pyro has that chair. Oh, a shot to the back. The chain on the back of the spine to Kris Dozer. Dozer, his advocate, is telling Mosher to stop this and stop the assault by Kris Pyro. There's no rule to stop the assault. This is what Dozer wanted. A chair shot using the chain. And Pyro in control of Dozer. Shot to the midsection with that chair. And a chair shot once again to the back. Pyro is going side to side here at the RWA Chop Shop.
He really should stop playing to the fans.
Shot to the midsection
again. Take
again.
care of what he needs to do.
And a huge
that's a
chair
hard shot. That's a hard shot right there.
I would assume that the weight of this chain wears you down even more cardiovascularly. That you end up getting blown up quicker if you're not in top shape.
No, absolutely.
Oh, a shot right to the spine of Kris Dozer. Kris Pyro bringing Dozer each side, shot to the midsection. Jonathan James Fear staying out of this. Dozer, dazed. Pyro, oh my God, the right hand right through the chair, and Pyro is knocked right out. The chain broke! The chain broke! How the hell did the chain break? Mosher's inspecting the chain. How the hell did the chain break? They can't remove the collar. Mosher is checking the chain. The chain just shattered. Pyro can't even believe it. Technically, they can't remove the dog collar. There is no rule that the chain cannot break. Pyro's busted wide open. Pyro is busted wide open after getting that chair to the skull.
What the frig, man?
Pyro is cut. Dozer's laying into Kris Pyro. Mosher is saying that he's going to allow this. He found the link that broke. Dozer getting in the face of children. Pyro is trying to run. Pyro has the ability to run. The champion advantage is still on. Well, his back on. Shot right to the back with the chair.
It's going to be tough to run when you can't use your back to do it.
Dozer, I can't believe the chain broke. I've never seen a dog collar break before. A dog collar chain break before. Ironically, it was 31 years ago, almost to the day, the first ever dog collar match. Shot right to the head. Jonathan James Fear is screaming at Steve Mosher to either end the match. I don't know what he's screaming at Mosher, that it's an 18-pound chain, it just doesn't break. Fear is saying the chain was tampered with. Shot right to the head of Kris Pyro. Pyro is bloody. That crimson mask is starting to form. I'm legitimately worried for Pyro's well-being. Dozer using that chain, wrapping it around the neck of Kris Pyro in that dog collar. Pyro is in a bad... Look at him bleed right in the center of the ring. He is cut at the top of his skull. Pyro sees that he is bleeding now. Shot to the midsection to Kris Pyro. Pyro trying to fight off Dozer, and a shot right to the back of the neck of Kris Pyro by Dozer. Hanging Pyro up. Dozer is just playing with Pyro now. The sold-out crowd at the Chop Shop. Booing down, raining boos down on Christopher Dozer. Dozer looks like he's going to go for a sidewalk slam. He does. Hits the mark. Cover. And no cover. And wait a minute. He's using the chain and sticking in the mouth of Kris Pyro and then gets the pin in a 2 count. Pyro kicked out. Something you and Tony Reno were talking about. That chain can be used in any way possible.
Well, the problem is that they're both using it. Now that it's taken off.
Got red suplex. Pyro goes from end to end, and Pyro is just bleeding like a sieve right now. Raking the eyes.
I love that Dozer's just ripping at that cut.
I mean, you take it to another level when you see that you've cut open your opponent, I would have said.
Oh yeah, it's a totally different ballgame.
Dozer now wrapping the chain around the neck of Kris Pyro again. Listen to this crowd get behind Kris Pyro, a forearm. Pyro staggers, but he does not go down. Another forearm. Pyro staggers. He's up. And now somehow landing a shot at Dozer. It doesn't really phase Dozer. Forearm. Pyro's trying to fight back. It must be adrenaline. Both men trading forearms. Center of the ring. Pyro using that chain to throw Dozer out of the ring. And to the outside goes Kris Dozer.
That hurt. That hurt bad.
Pyro, seeing that he hurt Dozer, has that chain in hand, wrapping it around the hand, and now beating Dozer right in the head with that chain. Dozer on the far corner, posted by Kris Pyro. And again, posted. Dozer is staggered, but he's not out. Into the corner goes Kris Dozer once again.
You guys want weapons?
Dozer's out. Dozer's out. And Jimmy Hansen is looking like he's going to check on Dozer.
He's not going to give up. You back the hell away. He's not giving up.
Hansen, I don't know if he's protecting our equipment or checking on Dozer. And Dozer is cut. Dozer is cut wide open. That second post, or third post, completely lacerated Christopher Dozer. Oh, a shot right in front of us with that pan. And I think we have some. Were you checking on him? Is he out?
I was making sure that he wasn't dead.
Dozer, now that crimson mask falling on Kris Dozer. Pyro has a ladder on the inside of the ring. A chair is also on the inside of the ring. Dozer is still staggered on the outside. Mosher was trying to see if Dozer gave up. Look at how Kris Dozer is bleeding like a stuck pig and shot right to the head. Pyro looks like he's going to use that ladder, using the chain, sending Dozer into the ladder. Dozer pulls up. Dozer pulled up. And a catch, belly to belly, into the ladder. Kris Pyro into the ladder, belly to belly suplex. Dozer is bleeding profusely. Cover. 1, 2, and Pyro kicks out. Jonathan James Fear is beside himself.
I
on
love
the apron.
this. I love this.
You have to think that Dozer sees the blood pouring from his head, and the adrenaline starting to run. It's going to fire him up.
I love this.
Shot
This
right
is
to the head.
Some of my favorite stuff right here.
You can see that cut just spewing blood from the head of Kris Dozer. These two men covered in each other's blood. An enziguri by Kris Pyro finds the mark on Kris Dozer. Dozer hangs that ladder up in the corner again. Pyro is on his feet. Dozer doesn't know it. Pyro charges and drop kicks Dozer into the ladder. Dozer is back down. Both men bloodied and battered. The chain broke after Kris Dozer hit a shot right on Kris Pyro on the outside of the ring. Pyro's going to the second rope. He's going to mount that ladder. He's on the top rope.
What the hell is he doing?
Pyro drives the ladder into Kris Dozer, who is bleeding profusely. Here's a cover. 1, 2, and Dozer kicks out. Pyro is covered in Kris Dozer's blood.
Well, he's covered in his own blood, too.
This is insane.
What a
Pyro,
tremendous match.
Pyro is going to the second rope. Is he calling for a 450 with the chain? He's crazy. Frog splash hits Dozer. 1, 2, Dozer kicks out. Pyro has lost a tremendous amount of blood. Kris Dozer is losing the same amount of blood here.
This is one of the most incredible matches I've ever seen in RWA.
Kris Pyro is climbing to the top.
Oh!
Dozer cuts him off.
Uh-oh. What's he doing?
Dozer catches Pyro. He's got Dozer driver. That could be all. Dozer is the new champion. 2, and Pyro kicks out. Pyro kicks out. Pyro kicked out of the Dozer driver. He's still alive. Jonathan James Fear is beside himself. Dozer is beside himself. Jonathan James Fear is beside himself. Pyro is staggering out. Dozer is grabbing another chair on the outside. How the hell are these two men? Well, how the hell is Dozer standing? Pyro can barely get up. Dozer has a second chair in the ring now. Is this about the championship? Is this about destroying the face of the RWA? We dubbed this the rise or demise of the RWA. And I don't know who's ahead even on points.
Well, I mean, it's really, if you were doing this in points, man, I really don't know. They've given it to each other.
Blocks the forearm. Pyro hits another forearm on Dozer. A third forearm. A fourth forearm on Kris Dozer. Pyro off the ropes with the chain in hand. A shot to the midsection. Oh my God, no.
Yes!
No. The Stark Reality Pile Driver on the chair. Jesus Christ. That's got to be it. 1, 2, and Pyro kicked out. Pyro kicked out. Dozer cannot believe it. Dozer can't believe that Pyro kicked out of that pile driver and the Dozer driver. How is Pyro surviving in this gruesome match? Dozer is calling as Jonathan James Fear is screaming at Kris Pyro to stay down. Dozer is calling for the ugly truth. That right hand.
This is so awesome.
He is
you are not here in
measuring.
the RWA Chop Chop. You are severely missing out.
He is measuring Pyro. Pyro ducks and plants Dozer. Off the ropes goes Pyro. And I believe that was a sliced bread to Chris Dozer.
Sliced bread? No, it was the knee.
Pyro, he's up. Front, double stop by Chris Dozer. Right on the point of the head. And Dozer's getting up again. Look at the face of Chris Dozer. He's coming in a crimson match. Pyro is wrapping that chain right around his hand. The right hand to Dozer. Dozer is still standing. Another right hand to Dozer. He's down on a knee. He spit it. Pyro goes for a right hand again. Another one. A Superman punch. A cover. 1, 2. Pyro. Yes. Pyro wins. Pyro wins. The RWA survives.
The winner of the contest, and still RWA Triple Crown champion, Kris Pyro.
Pyro survives. He beat Dozer in his own game. He is walking out with 14 pounds of gold. And he is walking out. There's Davey Cash in the ring. His Hood's tag team partner, Jonathan James Spear, can't believe it. Pyro has won this match and is still the heavyweight champion of the Renegade Wrestling Alliance.
That may be the best match I've ever seen in RWA history.
And now who will face Kris Pyro? We will find out as you listen to this crowd. The Throwdown match is next.